Direct News TV. March 26, 2024. Baltimore's Key Bridge collapse, casualties feared after ship crash. A search and rescue operation is ongoing after a container ship collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, causing its partial collapse. Authorities say at least 2 people have been pulled from Patapsco River after the crash, with 1 seriously wounded. At least 6 people remain missing, many of them believed to be part of a construction crew working on the bridge at the time of the collapse. Coal producer says vessel access to Port of Baltimore delayed. Coal producer Consol Energy has said that vessel access in and out of its marine terminal has been delayed following the bridge collapse. There is no definitive timeline for the resumption of normal operations or vessel access, Consol Energy has said. The company operates the Baltimore Marine Terminal, which is one of the 2 coal export terminals on the eastern seaboard, and is the only one served by 2 rail lines, Norfolk Southern and CSX Transportation. The terminal has processed over 10 million tons of coal per year on average since 2010 and has an annual throughput capacity of 15 million tons of coal. June inspection of ship found problem with propulsion and auxiliary machinery. Inspectors in June found a problem with the machinery of the ship that caused a major bridge to collapse in Baltimore. The Dolly, owned by Grace Ocean Pte., has been inspected at least 27 times at ports around the world since it was built in 2015. An inspection at a port in Chile in June identified a problem with the ship's propulsion and auxiliary machinery, according to the shipping information system Aquasis. But the website's online records did not elaborate. Aquasis did also note that a more recent examination of the ship did not identify any deficiencies. The U.S. Coast Guard in New York conducted that examination on September 13. According to the Aquasis data, the standard examination did not identify any deficiencies. The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. On Tuesday, Americans awoke to dramatic images of the pre-dawn collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, after a cargo vessel struck one of its supports. Deadliest bridge accidents in recent years. At least 6 people remain missing after the bridge collapse in Baltimore. While no deaths were immediately confirmed, the incident has evoked comparisons to some of the worst bridge disasters in recent years. In 2022, for instance, at least 137 people, including nearly 50 children, were killed after a 150-year-old suspension bridge collapsed in Morbi, part of the Indian state of Gujarat. That bridge had recently reopened following renovations. Hundreds of people were gathered on the bridge to celebrate the last day of the holiday of Diwali. In May 2021, at least 26 were killed in Mexico City when an elevated section of track in the city's metro system collapsed, bringing a passenger train crashing down. An investigation later concluded that the accident was caused both by structural flaws and a lack of maintenance. In 2018, the Morandi Bridge collapsed in the Italian city of Genoa, killing at least 43 people. The bridge buckled amid torrential rain, sending dozens of vehicles and their passengers tumbling into the abyss. An investigation later found a lack of even minimal maintenance work to reinforce the bridge over its 51-year history. Maryland Muslim group extends unwavering solidarity. In a statement, the Islamic Maryland Action Network, IMAN, said it was prepared to stand shoulder to shoulder with City of Baltimore, as it recovered from Tuesday's bridge collapse. In these trials, as we face profound sorrow and uncertainty, our prayers, thoughts, and hearts are with the victims, their families, and the Baltimore community, the group wrote. Biden announces plans to visit Baltimore bridge site. Addressing the bridge collapse from the White House, Joe Biden said he plans to visit Baltimore as quickly as I can. The U.S. President is scheduled to visit Raleigh, North Carolina today for a joint campaign stop with Vice President Kamala Harris. Biden also used his White House remarks to address how the bridge would be rebuilt. It's my intention that the federal government will pay for the entire cost of infrastructure in that bridge, he said. I expect Congress to support my effort. The bridge is a major transport route, with 30,000 cars crossing it a day, he added. Meanwhile, The Port of Baltimore, which has been temporarily closed in the wake of the incident, is the largest port for the import and export of automobiles and light trucks, Biden said. About 185,000 vehicles pass through the port every year. Everything so far indicates that this was a terrible accident, Biden. Addressing the bridge collision and collapse, Biden has said there is no other indication, no other reason to believe that the incident was intentional. Everything so far indicates that this was a terrible accident, Biden said from the White House, adding that the recovery effort was ongoing. He reiterated that 8 people were initially unaccounted for, with 2 pulled from the water alive. 6 more remain missing. Maryland's transportation official earlier said those missing were believed to be construction workers. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.